Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hi, Jackie.
I do.
We'll give everyone a couple of minutes just to get situated, get logged on. Hey, Viviana.
How's the baby?
He's wonderful. Thank you for asking. Yes, he is just incredible.
Yay.
Yes, yes. Hi, Lisa. It's good to have you here. I just saw your um, comment in the chat that you're driving, but thanks for joining us, and I'm excited to connect with you. And to Sadie, Fernando, Mark, Jay, Jonathan, thank you all. Out of respect for everyone's time, I think we can go ahead and get started. So, hi everyone, I'm Sydney. Good to see everybody. I'm the Community Engagement Director with Isla Vista Community Services District. I'm going to be leading our meeting today, and so I will start with our land acknowledgement before we move into introductions and announcements. And why don't I drop the agenda in the chat for everybody? Give me 1 second. All right. So we would like to acknowledge that this meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Chumash people and pay our respects to elders both past and present. We honor the traditional territory as well as the story and contributions of the Chumash people to the land upon which we gather and create. So with that, I will start introductions and then we can jump into any announcements that anyone has. Or if you want to do your intro and your announcements, that's great too. I will go in the order that I have on my screen. Jackie, would you like to introduce?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Happy to be here. Jackie Curta, UCSB Alcohol and Drug Program, part of Student Health. We oversee the Gauchos for Recovery peers, overdose prevention peers, life of the party peers, healthy athlete peers. And I'd like to, and there are others on the screen as well who might want to give some updates about safety efforts for Deltopia. And I want to say hi, Fernando. We've been communicating by email. We've never met, so nice to see
Pleasure
you.
to meet you.
Thanks. You want me to pass it on?
Oh,
Sorry.
I can pass it. No,
Okay.
I just had to take a second to unmute
Sure.
myself. Thanks, Jackie. Viviana.
Hello, Viviana Marzano, Director of Civic and Community Engagement and Isla Vista Liaison. And I, like Jackie, I think our office, Dean of Students, is working hard with the preparations for Deltopia.
Thanks, Viviana. Fernando.
Hi, I'm Fernando with the Hardhouse Center and UCIV group. I'm the coordinator and advisor.
Thank you. Colby.
And
Oh, sorry. Did you have another announcement, Fernando?
you know what? Yeah, I actually do have an announcement.
Okay.
One of my students, Owen, is supposed to show up, and he wanted actually to do a presentation in a few minutes. But we are going to be part of the Deltopia. We'll be posted in Camino Pascadero Park. We'll be there from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll have 2 shifts, and hopefully everything will work out great. But the Pardal Center will be open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through the whole weekend through Deltopia, so that way anybody needs any safety or a place to sober up or drinking water, snacks, we'll be here.
Great.
I'm sorry, did you say dub Deltopia?
Yeah, Deltopia.
Just Delto Carry.
But also on the weekends, like once the quarter starts again, also Fridays and Saturdays, we are at Camino Pascadero Park from 9 p.m. to 12:30 in the morning.
Great. And yeah, I have Owen presenting after our introductions and announcements. Okay, sorry, back to Colby.
Hi everyone, Colby Carroll, Community Resource Deputy for the Isla Vista Foot Patrol.
Perfect. And then, yeah, we can have your updates in just a bit. Sadie?
Hello, everyone. I'm Sadie McDade, the marketing manager at the IV Food Co-op. I'm trying to think of any announcements. We do have plans to have our deli manager out on the patio grilling some food during Deltopia, just as a soak up any beverages kind of option for people. And we'll be nicely stocked with water and other grab and go kind of snacks and options to keep everyone hydrated and fed. And I will just say that we are hard at work planning some of our grand reopening events for our new downtown market, the former Cantwell's Deli. Still sort of figuring out the official timeline, but you can put May 4th on your calendar for our big ribbon cutting media kind of announcement type thing. And then we'll have some fun activities throughout the rest of the month just to celebrate this new chapter for us. But I think that's all I've got. And if I missed anything, Lisa can cover that as well. But happy to be here.
Thanks, Sadie. Super excited about the downtown location. Jonathan.
Hi, everybody. Jonathan with Ivcn. No announcements.
Thank you. Mark.
Hi, everyone. Mark Friedlander, Santa Barbara County Public Works, Transportation. No Deltopia related announcements for me.
Thanks, Mark. Do you have any other announcements or?
Not at this time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Jay.
Sorry, I knew to my mute button. So my name is Jay Freeman. I'm on the board of the Isla Vista Community Service District and the Local Agency Formation Commission. Although I am representing neither of these agencies here today, I'm here only in my personal capacity.
Great. Thank you, Jay. Lisa, I know you're driving, but if you're able to unmute, you're welcome to.
I am driving. Emergency errand came upon me. Apologies for my poor connection. Hi, Lisa Oglesby, Isla Vista Food Cooperative Board of Directors. Apologies for the way that I'm dropping into this meeting today. I'm here mostly to learn about some of the plans for Deltopia, make sure that we are up to speed, trying to ensure that we are both a community resource and also providing information for our staff who will be working over the weekend, letting them know about what they can expect and what kind of support there is out there for them as well. So thanks everyone for your hard work on that. And it's nice to see you, Sydney.
Thank you, Lisa. It's great to see you. And lastly, Chris.
Hey everybody, Chris Nutton. I'm the Santa Barbara County Public Works, and I don't have anything to report. Thanks.
Perfect. Thanks for being here. Okay, I don't know if I see Owen here. Fernando, for the update, we can always come back to this part.
Okay. I don't see him. I don't see him at all yet. We could just wait a little longer.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Jackie.
Hi, thanks. So I wasn't sure if you were planning just a particular Deltopia update, or should we just share things as at now? Should I share it now?
Yeah, if you want to share it
Okay.
now, it could come up in the any burning issues or anything, but no, I mean, I think
Okay.
this is pretty.
So Jonathan Aboud was kind enough to share a slide that we've created and are distributing pretty widely. I'm sure there will be more safety efforts, just like Fernando shared, Pardal Center, which is not on this slide, but we created this early so that we actually have our Vice Chancellor of Student Affairs connected with Academic Senate to ask the faculty to send this out the first week of the quarter, which we're very much hoping they will do. And we've also included it as a email distribution to all students through Shoreline. I've sent it around to a number of our campus partners for social media posts. I sent it to Jonathan for Ivcn distribution, sent it to Jen Burcham for housing, and she sent it along to all the property managers. So as you'll see, there's a QR code on there, and that will continue to be updated as we learn of more safety opportunities, like we'll add the Pardal Center hours, that kind of thing. But we just put on there what we knew at this time so that we could get this slide prepared and get it out in advance. So we're hoping to, we're also partnering with a group called End Overdose. It's not a UCS, it's not a program of ours as in the university, official programs. It's a campus work that's also going to be partnering, and they have quite a bit of access to Narcan. So they will be partnering as well and tabling at the Arbor, tabling out in Isla Vista. I think we'll have a lot, hopefully a really significant amount of opportunities for students to get help, to get Narcan, and to get safety information. So thank you, Jonathan, for posting that. I'm not as savvy about posting to the chat, so appreciate that. Any questions, please let me know. And if there are additional places we might add to the to that QR code location, we will do so.
Hey, Jackie, we
Yeah.
will do it on Shoreline and in the SEAL Instagram.
Okay,
We
we
can-
did Shoreline. We added it to the feed, and we scheduled an email to all students, which is like it's the first time we've ever done it to 35,000 students. I'm hopeful
Yeah,
that we scheduled it for next Thursday. Thinking right now they're not, they're focusing on finals and
Yes.
break week, and so it's planned to go out, scheduled for next Thursday at noon to all students, Viv. So
do you want us to send it to the student leaders of the 500
sure.
registered campus orgs?
Sure.
And I'm going to ask Mina if she is sending a newsletter on our end, and we'll put it there too.
Okay, great. So I'll send you these directly. I'll send you both the PNG or do you already, can you access it?
I have it here, but if I
Okay.
need another format,
Yeah.
I will let you know.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
And what I can do is, as a follow-up to this meeting, if you'd like, I'm happy to send this flyer out to everybody, just so they have it and they can kind of share it. Just
Yeah.
put a plug, share it to your.
Yeah, I mean, it may end up being multiple people get the same thing from different people, but we shouldn't worry about that. But
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. The more we can get it out, the better.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. Since we're on the topic of Deltopia, is there anything else that anybody wants to bring up or talk about? And we can also do it again in a little bit, but just want to open that space. Yeah.
Can I ask, if we're on that, a question maybe of Colby? I think the IV safety stations will be out probably in their usual hours, Friday and Saturday of Deltopia, and that's at Little Acorn.
No, let me
Oh.
chime in here. So the
okay.
safety stations are not by Ivy Patrol, they're by IVCSD and UCPD, and they'll be out on Friday night at the usual time, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. at Little Acorn and Winter the Sea, and on Saturday it's only at Little Acorn Park from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Great, and my apology, Jonathan. I knew that it was IV It was
All good.
UCPD. My bad.
All good. Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
no problem.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Jonathan, can you repeat those times for Friday and Saturday and the locations one more time? Sorry, I missed it right when you started.
It's all good, and it's gonna all go out. Like we're preparing information to all go out too, but it's gonna be Friday night, Little Acorn Park and Windows to the Sea, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's always there, on most weekends, almost every weekend, at those times at those locations. And then on Saturday, Little Acorn Park only from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. So more than half the day.
Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, it was in my update. It's kind of tricky because I know that Deltopia is really high on everyone's radar right now, and I'm gonna imagine that each of the updates are gonna also have stuff about Deltopia. So while we're still waiting for Owen, maybe it's best to just kind of each run through our updates, and then as questions come up about Deltopia, we can chat about those. So I'm gonna move to Second District Supervisor's Office update.
I'm gonna do that update for
Great.
Eleanor. No one from their office could be here today. So here, let me pull up my list of things to read. I'm just gonna read off the list I was given, so letting you guys know if it sounds like that. So first update is on bluff safety. The fencing is being completed at all the Bluff-top County parks, and the tentative work schedule is, well, Sealocott Park I think is done, so it's not on this list. That's the one on 6-7 block or 6-7-6-8. Caps Park is being worked on right now and should be done between March 18th, so just started, and it finishes on April 1st. Pelican Park, the one on 6-5 block, is going to be worked on from April 3rd through April 9th. And Rodapel Park, which is on like 6-6-6-7, is April 11th through April 15th. And this is to raise the fence heights at the county parks to the new 8-foot level. The second district office is going to be calling the DP on the DP bluff facing property owners and property managers to explain the higher fence requirements, and that their office is going to be funding all the permit fees that they would need to go through to get their higher fence permitted. And that's the new requirement, is to have the higher fence, but it's not retroactive, but it is free to go through the permit process because the second district office will be covering it. As of today, 2 property managers are raising their fences, and it's their hope that this will create a ripple effect for more property managers and owners to do so. Some additional notes on this is Planning and Development Department at the county is creating a handout for the county's building official to share with property managers when doing site visits to encourage fence height raises. Planning and Development also is sending a letter to all Bluff-top property owners along DP, reminding them of the balcony inspection law from the state, which went into effect in 2019. And this law requires inspections of all balconies, porches, decks, stairways, walkways for all multifamily buildings with 3 or more units on a single lot. The memorial, thanks for those who've lost their lives to the Bluff-tops. They're saying thanks to AS for their work on creating the initial renderings for a memorial. And I know Saze has been working hard at that. And the second district office is convening parents of students who've lost their lives to walk through the options, likely in early April. And some additional things is the permit fee waivers for the fence heights are being covered by the second district office budget. And the state bill is State Bill 721, which is the inspections need to happen by January 1st, 2025. And they're also working to communicate with property owners so that they could communicate to their tenants the max capacity loads of balconies. So that's the bluff safety. And then on Deltopia, which I think is part of the CSD update and probably part of the AS update as well, but we'll just repeat it 3 times because it's so important, which is 3 organizations, D2, CSD, and AS, are working together for an event on April 2nd to have Narcan distribution and bluff safety information to we want to get to all the DP houses, but also all 900 parcels in Isla Vista. And that's going to be, the goal is to hit all 900 units and to have 40 to 50 volunteers on April 2nd. So, and I think it's at 4 p.m., but I know Sydney will get you the right date at location to meet. But we have the flyer attached and I'll share it in here. That's it on D2.
Thanks, Jonathan. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Thank you, thank you. I will then, I'll just share our update now. So as Jonathan mentioned, we are doing the Narcan distribution. It is from 4 to 6 p.m. We're going to meet at Walter Capps Park. I will put everything that I mentioned, I will in the follow-up email send all the flyers and information. And if you too want to share the information, we'd greatly appreciate that with your channels. It's kind of a hard time, as we know, to try to get volunteers because we're about to be on spring break and then we come back and it's basically spring Deltopia. So with that, yeah, we're doing a big call for volunteers. People can get service hours, volunteer hours, and then we are doing a big push around cliff and safety, or excuse me, cliff and bluff safety. The next day on Wednesday, April 3rd, we are partnering with Life of the Party and I think Gauchos for Recovery and a few other groups to host a Party Safety for All event. It'll be in the community center from 5 to 6 p.m. It's basically going to be a group, a panel of speakers. People can ask questions. We're going to have, it's just an opportunity for people to kind of hear who they can call in a time of need or things to avoid to keep yourself safe, where to find help, and where to find local resources. So we're in the works of putting all of that together. Life at the Party, Gauchos for Recovery, EVPLA, IV Foot Patrol, our interpersonal violence investigator, Covina, there'll be CSOs, and UCSB Health and Wellness will all be there. So it's just a really, great opportunity to share information, share resources, really just continue to push all of the safety information that we can. So that will be that evening. There'll be food, all that good stuff. And then that leads us to Saturday of Deltopia. We are hosting a spring festival. That's on Saturday at Little Acorn Park from 1 to 6 p.m. There's going to be live music from local bands, DJs. We'll have live painting, body paint, 360 photo booth. There will be free tacos from 4 different local restaurants, and they're also going to be competing for the best taco in IV. We will have bathrooms in the loop on Embarcadero and also throughout IV. As Jonathan mentioned, our safety stations will be up and running in Little Acorn Park from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then at that event, we'll also have Life of the Party and Gauchos for Recovery resources available. And then all of this information is going to be on the door hanger that's going out. It's being distributed on that Tuesday, April 2nd. So it has event information and then all of the safety, safety information, the new ordinance information, you name it. It's there. So that'll be going out. Those are my Deltopia updates. And then if you haven't seen already on Pardal, we have a new information kiosk. In there, it's like a really cool, I don't have a handy photo of it, but it's like a flyer board. So you basically, we can put information. So we are asking people to submit your flyers if you want them posted there. Jenna's going to be managing it. I'll be looking at the flyers and accepting them and putting them up. But there's some information about what can and can't go in there essentially, but it's community resources, events, all that good stuff. So I will drop the form in the chat and then also send it out later. Oops, hopefully that works. Okay. And then I think that's it for me, but happy to answer any questions or if I missed anything, Jonathan, please weigh in. That's all for me. Okay, I still don't see Owen, so we're gonna move to an AS
Sydney,
update.
can I just ask, could
Yeah.
we get, I know both you and Jonathan mentioned Gauchos for Recovery and Life of the Party a number of times. I want to make sure that we're all aware of where you're hoping we will all be. So I'm wondering if the door hanger has all of those same things. Is it possible to even send me a draft of it? I understand it may not, just so that I confirm with our supervisors that we're able to be everywhere that you're hoping we will all be.
You got it. Yes.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, I know for the Party for All event, Maya's been working with Omari, so I feel like I'm coming in the ninth inning, so I don't have all the information, but I'm happy to share the door hanger and any other information I can.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay. Is anyone here to share an AS update? Okay, we can move on to a law enforcement update.
All right. So yeah, Colby Carroll with the Foot Patrol again. We're gearing up with the Deltopia planning. We're kind of at the final stages. I believe we have our final stakeholder meeting on April 1st. Some few things to talk about. Restorative justice for the day of Deltopia beginning at 6 a.m. and ending on Sunday at 6 a.m. It will be suspended for a 24-hour period. That was the command staff's decision, not at my level, but that will be suspended. We're doing, there will be a DUI checkpoint in the area at an undisclosed location, which they tend to do every year. The noise ordinance, so it'll be in effect starting Friday and ending Monday morning. So between the hours of 6 p.m. and 7 a.m., there can be no audible music coming from our residents or like local businesses. So you can't have bands at restaurants and stuff like that during that time, which is consistent with years past. There's some updates to the social host ordinance and the festival ordinance. The big changes here are that paid parties that we saw last year, they're now prohibited in that new language of the festival ordinance. Sales of alcohol at parties is prohibited. It has been, it's just now in these ordinances, and it's easy to find and easy to point to people so they can, see the law. It also, in the social host ordinance, it prohibits people being on bluffs that are accessed over railings at residences, and also people on rooftops. So basically unsafe situations, we can basically shut parties down to prevent risk to life. And additionally, if like last year, we saw parties that were basically utilizing the roadway as the dance floor, which made it difficult for first responders to get to and from certain addresses during those peak hours for medical emergencies. So in that language of the law as well, if that were to occur where people are using the roadway as a dance floor, we can shut that party down as well to hopefully mitigate those issues and allow first responders to get to and from medical calls. We will have teams dedicated to the parks. So Pelican Park, Pescadero Park, Sea Lookout Park, Caps Park, all the big main ones to prevent and dissuade people from, trying to get to the beach or jump over those barriers to use the restroom or whatever. So hopefully that'll, hopefully keep people safe and keep people off the bluffs. The sheriff's office, we're doing like a messaging campaign. So we're going to record that next week, kind of discussing all those things that we talked about, try and get the message out so it's not a surprise or a secret, and that way we're getting ahead of it so people know what to be aware of. That's kind of all I got. If anyone has any questions, I can try and answer them.
Any questions for Colby? All right. Thanks, Colby.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Alrighty. I'll move to burning issues. If anyone has anything, Deltopia is a big topic of conversation right now. All right, that was like information overload, I feel like, so I'm gonna do my best to send a follow-up email with all of these points because I know a lot of people also couldn't be here today. So just to make sure that we're all getting the same information and can help share all the different resources and great things that are happening to keep everyone safe that week and that weekend. So, oh, hi, Ash. Yes.
Hi. I heard a rumor that somebody proposed a housing project that would destroy the community center. Is this real? Is this something we need to be worried about? Does anyone know?
Hey, Ash. Um, that's not how I would say it. It's not a proposed housing project. The county is doing a workforce housing assessment on county-owned land, and the community center parcel is on that list of sites to be assessed. Me and Jay and Carrie Topliff on our board, we spoke at the Board of Supervisors meeting, asking for it to be removed from the list in order to preserve the community center. But it's only an assessment that's happening. There's still many opportunities to make sure that that doesn't happen. But I wouldn't say that there's a housing project proposed at this time. The county is just assessing over a dozen parcels that they own and seeing if workforce housing could be built on that site. And the shred of good news that there is that 3 county supervisors, Laura Capps and Joan Hartman and Doss Williams, they all spoke up after we made our public comment and said that they support the community center remaining in that location. And so even if the consultant, takes those statements into their assessment, it might make the project hopefully financially infeasible to build housing and build a community center. But we'll see what happens. But everyone should stay involved in this and make your views heard to the county board. And the assessment is going to be done by August. And even then, there will be a long time before any projects are actually proposed or funding is existing for those projects. But everyone should be on it and make their views heard to the county board of supervisors that, you support a community center remaining at that site. And even if there was a community center in a future housing project, obviously it'd be like 3 years without a community center. And so that would not be good either. So it's not happening necessarily, but it is being assessed by the county, and that'll be done by August.
Well, one thing I'll add on that is that on the list, the line item for evaluating that property had 2 parcel numbers for it. And one of them was the parcel number for the community center, and the other one is the parcel number for the adjacent Perfect Park. So in some sense, they were saying that they wanted to evaluate the entire little bottom part of the loop, but the county does not own Perfect Park. And the evaluation for why properties were to remain on that list, because they had started with a list of 500 properties, and they had been whittling it down, were to find properties that, for example, had extra parking nearby and things like that. And they listed the usage of those 2 plots as churches, because the old information is still in the assessor's database for the community center slot, and parking lots for Perfect Park. And I imagine that when the consultant goes and looks at that line item, you don't actually own 2/3 of this land, and you don't have access to those parking lots, and will make it look a lot less interesting as a location. The worry that I would have, though, is that there were other locations on the list that were even more ridiculous in some sense, or like floodplain things where you build something there, it's going to cause some like serious structural issues to all the other areas around it. And they ended up leaving these things on the list. And I guess the concern that I would have is that the consultant comes back and maybe even like comes up, first of all, wastes a bunch of county money or whatever, but comes back with like a detailed plan for like, well, let's say that you actually did own that entire bottom loop. Well, let's say you didn't, you only own the church's property, and then has some really interesting construction thing for it, and then the property just looks more easily obtainable or less damaging to other things, or has less effects on county goals, because I think there were a couple of those properties that were being used as like county offices still, and so I could still see scenarios whereby this then comes back to the Board of Supervisors with a staff recommendation in 2 years. DOS then no longer on the board, and there's some potentially some level of like, well, if this is really our best option, I'm really sorry. I really wanted that community center to stay there, but so yeah.
Yeah. And one thing we heard too was that, like Jay said, a lot of bad, not good parcels were put on that list. Also, I was told like debris basins in like Summerlin area and a park in Summerlin were put on the list, and the list wasn't generated. It was generated like bureaucratically or administratively, and not so much with like a look to the actual parcels. But I just, what we heard from our county supervisor office is that both parcels in IV shouldn't have been on there, but the Board of Supervisors didn't remove any parcels because there were others mentioned, like Jay said, that shouldn't be on there either. But hopefully, we just have to stay on it and keep our voice heard that we don't want this to happen.
Thank you. Any other burning issues? Announcements, anything?
Hey, Cindy, could I also get a copy of that flyer as well, the door hanger?
Yeah. I've been working with Tesla, but absolutely, I'll send it to you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem. Alrighty. Like I said, I will send a follow-up email. If not today, you'll get it by tomorrow, of just kind of everything that was discussed so we can all have it in one place. Colby, Jonathan, if you wouldn't mind sending me just very bare bones notes of your updates. I can also go back and listen to them if you're not able to do that, no problem. And yeah, I'll just kind of compile a little brief overview of what we chatted about so we're all on the same page and we can help each other share the different resources that are coming up. So our next meeting is going to be on April 18th at 12 from noon to 1 at the Ivy Community Center. So I'm excited to see everyone in person next month, and we can debrief Deltopia and talk about all the things. So thank you all. Yes, Jonathan.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if anybody wants to sign up to do lunch on April 18th, let us know. We did it, or the co-op did it the first time, one of us, and UCPD did it last time. So whoever wants to sign up for lunch duty, let us know.
I'm still waiting on Owen right now, but I could talk about a little bit about the UCIV group.
Yeah,
what they
my
do.
apologies. Yes, I sent you a thing in the chat if we should move that to the next meeting. But yes, if you want to
Okay.
share, please go ahead.
Yeah, so pretty much the UCIV group is a non-police affiliated, just it's all about getting to the students first. Pretty much our goal is to get to them before the police does. If we see them to have an open container, we want to just approach them and make them feel comfortable to put the beer away, the alcohol, whatever it is that they're holding. We just want to protect them. Our station that we have right there is a water station, snack station. We try to give everything for free so that way we can make them feel welcome. We do give free Narcan, fentanyl strips. We give them advice. We work with IVTU and also as well with the Pardell Center. We try to give them legal advice as well for a little piece of paper, a flyer with a QR code in case they do get a ticket, that they know how to approach the police, how to make things don't escalate, just for them to keep calm. We have 6 students that walk around, from 3 to 6 students, and they walk around with backpacks with Narcan, water, snacks, and walkie-talkies. And they try to find anybody who needs help. And if they are very drunk or just very intoxicated, we will call the police if it's necessary. We do try to wave down the police, an ambulance, the fire department. If we have to walk them all the way to campus or walk them home, then we will do that. If they need somewhere to sober up, then we will take them to the Pardell Center where they can sit down and relax and somebody can pick them up. We will call an Uber if it's necessary. Right now, we're trying to work with this, I can't remember her name at the moment right now, but it's these bicycles like on 4 wheels. And they're trying to work with us that maybe we can get them to take them home sober or take them home where they're intoxicated. And it's all free. Everything that we're doing is for free. And that's what the UCIV group does pretty much. And we're trying to get more training on other things as well, maybe even CPR as possible. But the goal is to be there every Friday and Saturday through the whole year, from 9:30 p.m. to 12:30 at night. And we're trying to pick up more shifts to be doing on Sundays and other big events as well. And we're also working with Guardians as well. And that's it. Pretty much. Anybody have any questions?
Thanks, Fernando. Yeah, any questions about UCIV? Questions, comments?
Just a comment. I'm so thrilled and appreciative that UCIV is back up and running in the way that you've got it organized, Fernando, because I think it's always been a terrific support resource for the community and for the students. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're always trying to get ideas from the community as well, from everyone else, that any type of input that we can do for the students, because the whole thing is about them, just to be safe. That's what it's all about. It's all about safety.
Perfect. Thank you. And Fernando, if you wanted to send a little snippet about UCIV, I've jotted down some notes, but if you want anything specific shared out in the follow-up email, just let me know.
I would do that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Cindy.
Thank you. Alrighty. Any last things before we adjourn for today? Get a little bit of time back in your calendar. All right. Really appreciate you all taking the time to meet. I know everyone's really busy right now, so thank you, thank you. And then I'll see everyone next month or next week or in 2 weeks at Deltopia. Thanks all. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.